Welcome everyone to another tutorial video for our second quarter first module regarding web designing. So for today, I'll be discussing to you the first module wherein we will be focusing on inserting images for a web page. So we have four focuses for this module. First is that we need to understand the use of the image tag for HTML5. Second is to insert the image that you imported from your PC to your phone or phone. The number 3 is to implement image customization using CSS elements and apply image style elements using CSS. So that is the focus of our module 1 for the second quarter. Next, so here again you have two assessments. First part is to let's identify the code. So here we will be identifying the code or supplying the missing code in a HTML file. Then in part 2, as usual, we will be having our let's create, wherein you're going to create an HTML file using only the code that I set at the end of the module. Here at the second column, we have the rubrics or the part 2 of your last assessment. Okay, so that is for our reminders and rubrics for the last part of the module. So here is the breakdown of activities that you can follow or not follow depending on your situation. Next is the reading one. Here is the different types of images that you would use in your website. These images are commonly used also in social medias or different platforms that we are very familiar for today. So first is we have JPG or JPEG, which simply means Joint Photographic Experts Group. So you can see there the advantages and disadvantages in the usage of this kind of image. The next we have GIF or Graphics Interchange Format. Then Portable Network Graphics or PNG. Then the last one is WebP. So this one is kind of new to you. This WebP is an image created in a website. So it is commonly done in the form of HTML code rather than you have taken a picture of it or downloaded it in the internet. So next, let's identify. So in task 1, there are 5 scenarios here wherein you would be asked what kind or what type of image could be the best used in each situation or scenario here. So, pagpipilian nyo lang dyan what is the best type of image that can be used during these scenarios. For example, number 1, Bryant wants his website to be interactive by putting images with minimal animation. What type of image can he use? So, you can choose between these 4, then you write the letter of the correct answer in the space provided at the side of the number. So next, we have your reading too. So here we have the steps or the discussions regarding on how to insert the images. So there are a lot of technicalities here. Then I will be simplifying it and showing to you how to create the images inside our web page. So let's open a simple HTML file that I've created prior to this recording. So this is an example of the image inserted in an HTML file. As you see here, meron na tong CSS actually. So there is a CSS here. So I'll be showing you the code of this one. When I'm opening an HTML file and I want to see the code, you can go to open with, then open it with Notepad. So you can see there the code of your work. So as you see here, I have opened my code. You would see this is our template. Then I already entitled this A5 HTML images because it will be named as a parameter later on at the last part of our module. Then you would see here, this is how you declare or use a IMG tag in your web page. So this one is IMG SRC. So SRC stands for source and equals to the file name or exact file name and file extension name of the image. So if you're using an example, a GIF, you must put the file extension name .gif at the end of the name of your image. So for example, let's change this one. So when I go back to my folders, I have another picture here. So this one is me. And you would see the file type is PNG. So let's change the image. So just like what I said, the file name is me. So all caps po yun. So I need to make sure that it is all caps also. Then the file type is PNG. So .png. Then I'm going to save this one. Then when I save this one, let's open it again in the documents because I saved it in the documents. So as you see, the image becomes available in the web page. So this is the image that I use. So that is how you insert an image using HTML. So let's go to the other page. Here we have here a simple way to customize the image using CSS. So I already created a web page with the CSS style property that tweaks the image. So as you see here, I'm going to change again the notepad into study.gif. Then I'm going to save this one. Then when I'm going to open the CSS, you would see here that the selector will be IMG or the image, that is our selector. Then our properties or the things that we want to change is the border radius or the border of the image. So we want to change the border radius or the corners of the image. Gagawin natin siyang rounded corners. So let's try or let's make this 100. When you make this 100, you just save this one. Since I already saved this one and it is linked in my HTML file, you see the image is like this. It has rounded corners already. Okay? But if you would check the image itself, ganito lang ang itsura niya. It is in edges, not in rounded corners. So that is the effect of border radius when we are implementing it in the CSS. Okay? So that is the most simple way to insert images in an HTML file, and you also using CSS. So that is also an overview of what you're going to create at the last part of your module. So let's continue our discussion. Here at task number 2, you're just going to compare the different websites and give your comments on the use of images for each website. Kung compare ninyo or observe ninyo, ano ba yung dapat nilang ginamit na image file? For example, ito. In item number 1, you would see there is a bus image there. Pero bakit kita yung white background? Hindi siya nag-float within the website. So what do you think is the most appropriate file type or image na pwede nilang gamitin. If I would be using it, ano kaya yung pwede kong gamitin na para mag-float lang siya dyan at hindi nakikita yung background? What type of image? Then you would suggest it and put it in the box below. So that is how you would answer task number 2. Then next is the last part of your module. So just like what I said in the part 1, you would be going to identify the missing code. So for example, here, the HTML code is given to you and you would supply the missing HTML code. You will write the answer at the next column, here at the answers column. So for example, for number 1, ano ang kulang? Dito nyo ilalagay ang sagot. Same goes with number 2 and so forth and so on in the different numbers. So again, note, you may not include the angle brackets in your answers. You may or you may not include this one. So it doesn't have any points kung meron man kayong angle brackets or wala. Then at the last part of the module, you will be having the let's create part. You will be coding an image or inserting an image in your HTML file. So the title must be A5 HTML images and the header must be memorable time. So pwedeng nasa taas yung header ninyo bago yung image or yung image muna bago yung header ninyo. Then you would insert an image of the most recent memorable moment that you experienced. Then you must have a paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences describing what happened during the image was taken. Okay? So, for bonus points, you know the drill. You know what to do. You're going to send this again to my email, rp.avila@ntc.edu.ph. Be sure to send also the image file because kung hindi ko marireceive yan, kasama ng HTML file ninyo, hindi ko makikita yung image pag inopen ko siya sa browser ko. Okay? So, you attach also the image that you used together with the HTML file, and if you're going to use CSS also, you can also attach it there because I need those 3 files para makita ko na maigi yung output ninyo for your bonus points. Okay? And there, kung hindi pa rin kayo satisfied in the way of I created or inserted the image, you can scan the QR code here. It is also a tutorial of inserting an image that is found on youtube.com, wherein you could also see this as a reference for you to be able to insert image in your website. Okay, so that is for part 2. At the last page also, you could see the space provided wherein you're going to write your code for part 2. So, dito nyo isusulat yan. And it's up to you kung lalagay nyo siya ng column for your HTML, then column for your CSS. Syempre, hindi nyo naman kailangan i-drawing na yung image na ilalagay ninyo. You just need to put the file name again in the image source. Okay, so that is how our module 1 quarter 2 will be answered. So if you have any questions, again, feel free to contact me in any platforms that I already given to you. And if you're going to pass your outputs or bonus points, you can go to rp.avila@ntc.edu.ph. So I'll be also uploading another tutorial for phone naman for this one, kung paano mag-insert ng image using phone and using the app Quick Edit. And also, we will be having also the module 2 naman for the second quarter, maybe later this week, for us to be able to catch up for the release of the modules. Okay, so again, thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, feel free to message me in any platforms that I already given to you. So that's all for today, and we will see you in the next one.